Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had Time Heist, where the Doctor and Clara found themselves robbing a bank, actually, with the help of two others, one named Sai and one named Sabra. And at the end, they figured out that it was all just it was all sort of a loop, basically, because at the end, they found the person who owned the bank, and the Doctor gave her his number, to which she would then call the Doctor in the past when she was on her deathbed, basically, so that he would go and rob the bank. Yes, and free two creatures that she had imprisoned when she ran the bank. Yeah, it was a really interesting episode, actually. I did really like it. And that's pretty much that. Yeah, this is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Also, I should go ahead and mention, I have realized that my voice is actually a little lower than normal. I'm keeping it a bit softer. I just had a hell of a time recording Sherlock, and it actually has shot my voice a little bit. So we're going to keep this a bit more on the relaxed side. So hopefully this is a relaxing episode, not, balls to the wall crazy. So yeah. So I'm going to try to rest my voice during this episode. We'll see how well that works. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Doctor Who. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh, what the hell's happening?
There's no way out of this.
The sand piranhas will get us long before that.
Is it an hour's earlier?
Sorry I'm late. How's you?
Ah.
Nice frog. It's a bit wet.
Freak shower.
Was that seaweed?
I said freak.
Aw. She's really having to cover.
Can you do deep cover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen you?
Of course I can do deep cover.
Where the magic circle?
I'll see you when I see you.
Huh.
When's that?
Oh, damn.
When I see you.
That's cool. I mean, what if he becomes John Smith again? That'd be awesome.
Our chief's off sick, so we've got a newbie. I did ask him to come along. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Now it's like school reunion.
I'm the new caretaker, John Smith.
Welcome to call him, Mr. Smith.
Thanks. Yes, John Smith's the name. But here's the thing. Most people just call me the Doctor.
Oh my gosh. He's going undercover at Coal Hill. That's hilarious. I wonder if he's going to recognize Coal Hill. It's where Susan went to high school. Isn't it? Right? Coal Hill, it's the same place. Because that's where Ian and Barbara worked. Isn't Ian's name on the sign?
You cannot pass yourself off as a real person among actual people.
A real
I lived
person,
around Otter's
damn.
house for a month. Well, I sulked. River and I, we had this big fight.
Human beings are not otters.
Exactly. It'll be even easier.
Problem, solution, destroy.
Whoa. Well, I don't know what the hell that thing is.
Not in 1797, because she didn't have the time. She was so busy
What?
doing
And I suppose what? She was your busy mate, was she? And you went on holidays together, and then
Clara,
you got
come
kidnapped
on.
like Boggins from space, and then you all formed a band and met Buddy Holly.
No, I read the book. There's a bio at the back.
Get down.
Boggles?
Go. Pink. The name remind you of anything?
Yeah. Colour.
Colonel Orson Pink, the guy we met at the end of the universe.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Same name doesn't look anything like him.
Looks very like him.
See, it's the same guy.
Who remembers a PE teacher? Shakespeare.
Sorry, what, Adrian?
No, Doctor.
One for luck.
I hope these aren't explosives. Ian's gonna be pissed.
A new watch. Don't tiny bit disappointed.
This is a very special watch.
Whoa.
Doctor? Oi, ow! Did you just flick my nose?
Invisibility.
You did recognize him.
Possibly reminded me of a certain dashing young time traveler.
Oh, of course you recognized him. Sorry. Stupid. I underestimated.
Oh, because he was wearing a bow tie and he had dumb hair. He looked like Matt Smith.
Very, very much. Go home and canoodle. Doctor's orders. Come on.
He's not gonna like that Danny's a soldier.
What I'm told.
Good night, Miss Oswald.
I wonder if she can pass
Good night,
the doctor off as
King.
her dad. Why is there a chessboard outside? Coal Hill is so weird.
And we're off.
God, I wish we had a cameo of Ian in this episode. Invisibility is so easy.
Problem solution destroy.
I want to work with you.
Problem solution
Oh.
destroy.
Oh, okay. He can dodge. All right. Oh,
System failure.
come on. All right, you got it. Woo. All right, Danny, you're in.
Well done, P.E. Brilliant work.
He's not a PE teacher.
What's this?
Oh my god, you're from space.
No, he is. He is. She's not.
Space woman.
It's a play! For the summer fete!
It's a what?
Yes, it's a play. Shut up. It is a play. We are rehearsing a play. Shh, 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 shh. A surprise play. And,
It's the
you see, the
Monsters
vortex
Inc.
thing
approach.
Is a lighting effect.
How stupid do you think I am?
I'm willing to put a number on it.
God damn it,
Not a
man.
moron, Clara. And he's not the caretaker.
I mean, technically he is.
He's your dad. Your space dad.
Aww.
I am not a PE teacher, I'm a math teacher.
You're a soldier. Why would you go out with a soldier? Why not get a dog or a big plant?
Because I love him.
Aww.
Why would you say that?
God damn
This
it,
is part of
man.
the surprise play. Voila.
Come on in.
And we travel the universe in it.
Thank God, you know, this is all proof. We'll go in. Yeah. It's alright. It's your first
What about
time.
that thing? Did you bring it here?
No.
We have to evacuate. Call the army.
And that is the most dangerous thing right there.
Yeah.
Well, you've explained me to him. You haven't explained him to me.
God damn, man. Okay, this one just hates soldiers, man. 12, it is unfettered hatred of soldiers.
There's an alien.
Yes.
Used to look like Adrian.
Yes.
Then he turned into a Scottish caretaker, and every now and then, when I'm not looking, you elope with
I
him.
don't know.
Yeah, it's not like that.
I just want to know who you are.
You know who I am.
When you're with him. When you're with the doctor.
The real Clara. Damn, man.
Afternoon. Thanks for keeping out of my way. You haven't brought Dave with you, I hope.
His name's Danny. No, I haven't. I explained it all to him. He gets it. He took it really well.
Pass me that synestic.
So she snuck
So when
him
Alexa
onto
comes
the
back, I can catch
TARDIS.
him with that.
Being a Time Lord, I can feel a light shield aura when it's right next to me.
Time
Damn.
Lord! Might have known.
Might have known. What?
Well, the accent's good, but you can always spot the aristocracy. It's in the attitude.
Danny.
Aristocracy.
Time Lords, do you salute those?
Definitely not.
Oh, sir!
You do not call me sir.
As you wish, sir! Absolutely, sir!
Oh my god, someone's getting punched.
My
TARDIS! Immediately. Am I dismissed?
Yes, you are!
That's him. Look at him right now. That's who he is.
Can I go in space?
I'll let you know. I may have a vacancy, but not right now.
Oh, damn. Oh, boy. Smile. That guy does look like Matt Smith. I love that. Oh, God. He's here. It's early, isn't it? Ah, there's the chair.
Yes, I'm afraid Courtney is a disruptive influence.
Yeah, but last year you said she was a very disruptive influence.
So I suppose that counts as an improvement.
Yeah, I guess. If you're shitty parents.
A plus, 10 out of 10, top of the class, sorry. Although, actually, handwriting could be better.
Still gotta get that in there.
I'm sure they'll be back in a moment.
Yeah.
Our Courtney was right about those two.
What's happening?
Well, is there anything I can do?
Yes, yes, and this is very, very important. Leave us alone!
You're gonna have to take him, man, as a companion.
Disrupt temporal lock. Disengage scan. Problem solution.
Yeah?
Final input code missing. Emergency terminate. Initiate
Oh, no.
destruct in.
Oi, Skybox, over here!
Ah. Oh!
Under attack.
Whoa! Oh, I thought he was gonna drop kick him.
Abort self-destruct. Orders accepted. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Okay, good.
Oh my god.
Good job, Danny.
You okay?
Okay.
Just, okay.
Okay.
It's alright, it doesn't matter. I need to be good enough for you. That's why he's angry. Just in case I'm not.
He did just save the whole world.
Yeah, yeah. Good start.
Good enough. Good start. Alright.
Farewell, Scobox and Twister. Have a nice war. So, Courtney Woods, impressed yet?
Actually,
100 million inhabited planets.
She's gonna throw up.
Ah, yes. There has been a spillage.
Throw up into space.
If he ever pushes you too far, I want you to tell me because I know what that's like. And if you break that promise, Clara, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
saying it because if you don't tell me the truth, I can't help you. And I could never stand not being able to help you.
How did I escape?
You didn't.
I don't remember how I got away.
Well, I was coming to that. I'm afraid you really rather didn't.
Oh shit, we're back in heaven. I was gonna say, we haven't done this in a while.
My God.
Missy.
Sorry, she's a bit busy today. So, any questions?
Wait, she God? Oh, God. Moan! Alright. What is she God? Interesting episode. But we were totally missing a cameo by Ian Chesterton. Granted, in canon, he's supposed to still be the same age that he was in the 60s. So, I guess they can't do that. Oh, well. Okay, that's alright. This episode was okay. When all is said and done, it was alright. It does remind me of School Reunion, just the fact that, you know, the doctor is infiltrating, you know, he's going in undercover into a school, and there's some sort of alien there, and we have to deal with it, except instead of having alien vampire bat Uther Pendragon, we had this guy, the Blitzer. Alright. And, you know, we didn't have Sarah Jane, we had Danny. This was alright. This was okay. It wasn't the greatest. this wasn't the greatest episode, but it was alright. Yeah, it was alright. I think one problem I have, and I guess this is a major problem, the thing about this episode is this is all predicated on the Doctor's complete and utter hatred of soldiers. But at the end, it sort of seemed like it's not even just that he hates soldiers. I mean, it seems like he's biased to soldiers. It seems like he's biased to soldiers. Bias against soldiers, basically. He has a bias against soldiers, but he is able to still see the good in Danny once he proves himself. And that's the thing. You know, I think even Danny mentioned that at the end, is that, you know, the reason he's so angry is that he wants to make sure I'm good for you, you know? Which you can kind of understand. Yes, he does have this sort of personal bias against soldiers right now, you know, which he's really only grown, you know, this sort of bias with this regeneration, you know? He didn't really have... I mean, now, that being said, with everything that happened with the Silence and the 11th Doctor, you can kind of understand how this sort of bias has grown in the Doctor that he didn't have before, you know? And maybe that's just because the 11th Doctor was so old, you know? Because he lived so long and dealt with so many soldiers, particularly with the Silence and everything, you can understand why the 12th Doctor has his bias against soldiers. You know? It's sort of like it has grown over time, whereas, yeah, he used to be pretty good. He used to be better with soldiers. Granted, I do feel like, okay, and we're getting a bit off topic with this, but I do feel like he has had some sort of a bias with soldiers, but he can get over it kind of if they prove themselves to him, you know? Because, like, okay, well, because you could say, okay, why would he have a bias against soldiers? One of his friends, the Brigadier, one of his former companions, Joe Grant, you know? But you can understand it, you know? Because that's the thing is, like, think about, like, the Sontaran stratagem. Which, first off, the Sontarans would put sort of this negative light on soldiers to him. But in that episode, those 2 episodes, he was dealing with UNIT and soldiers. And some of them were pissing him off, honestly. Some of them, you know, like the main general there, you know, he was making decisions that the Doctor didn't like. And okay, you can tell I've been thinking about this for a while, since pretty much episode 2. You know, because that's the one I think back to the most. But there are soldiers that, you know, kind of prove themselves, you know, that, and then he starts to like them. For instance, you know, he says in that episode that he likes Ross, you know? Don't call him a grunt, we like Ross, look at him. And yes, I've rewatched that episode since then. So that's how I also remember that. But now that I really think about it, this is something that's kind of just popped up in my head. With everything that the 11th Doctor went through with soldiers, which, to be fair, I suppose, like, he didn't go through, like, a ton, you know? But he went through some. The Silence in particular, and, you know, kidnapping Amy, you can understand that. There it is. I'm going to look back through some of the 11th Doctor episodes just so I can make sure. Let's see. Yeah, kinda. Maybe a bit there too. Yeah, so I mean, you can understand. I mean, okay, so granted, it's not a ton. I will admit. It's not a ton during the 11th Doctor's run, but I do feel like there are some things there. Or, like, okay, Cold War could be another example, you know? So you can understand, honestly, why, like why, and especially with the Silence kidnapping Amy, you know, and replacing her with the Flesh, you can understand where this sort of bias against soldiers stems from. It's just that in this particular regeneration, the Doctor is taking it really far. So much that it impacts meeting perfectly fine people like Danny. But that's the thing, is that while he does have this bias, it's also what Danny says, you know, especially with finding out that he is her boyfriend. Like, it's almost like he is extra biased now, extra biased against Danny, because he's looking out for his best friend, you know? So I can understand that. Is it kind of annoying? Yes. It is a little annoying, this, I don't want to say rivalry, but just the animosity between the Doctor and Danny in this episode. It is kind of annoying. You know, I will grant that. But to an extent, you still understand it. And I like that, you know, well, first off, he does come around to Danny at the end. You know, good start. But at the same time, it's like he wanted Danny to prove himself. You know, he maybe even if he didn't consciously think that, but he basically wanted Danny to prove himself to be, you know, good for Clara, basically. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the notes here. The first thing I wrote down was balance. Yeah. So that was interesting, you know, Clara having to balance her home life, basically, you know, her date life with her Doctor life. Which, honestly, you know, we had a bit of that during, you know, definitely the beginning of Series 7, where, you know, Amy and Rory were trying to, you know, balance their real life with their TARDIS life. I think the difference being, though, the difference here is that, you know, Clara never, like, times these well. Like, it seems like every time she's about to go on a date, the Doctor has to take her on an adventure, you know? So there's that, where it's like, where Amy and Rory, it's like, well, they would be at home for a while, and then they would go off with the Doctor for 7 months or a year or something, you know? Whereas it's always just, you know, Clara goes on an adventure with the Doctor and immediately starts having to go on a date, you know? So that was interesting. I like that it's a bit different, you know? And it didn't go down the path that, you know, happened with Amy and Rory, which I'm glad. That whole will they, won't they bull crap. But we won't get into that. We definitely don't need to get into that again. So that was interesting. And I'm glad, you know, because this is the halfway point now. This is halfway through the season, because there's only 12 episodes this season. So it is interesting that now is when Danny is learning about Clara and the Doctor. So that's pretty cool. I wrote down the Caretaker. Again, it does remind me of School Reunion, where it does remind me of that, where, okay, the Doctor has to go in to into this school in order to investigate these aliens and stuff. But instead of Sarah Jane, we just get Danny, and Danny is no Sarah Jane. Danny isn't even Mickey, you know? And Danny's okay. He's okay. We just haven't had anything interesting with Danny yet, I think. So honestly, I'd be alright if he became a companion, you know, like Mickey did for a while, or like Rory did. So I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty cool. The Doctor going in and becoming the Caretaker. The only thing, again, I wish we had a cameo by Ian. You know? Because that would have been so cool. Heck, even if you could have gotten... Because that's the thing, is in canon, because they reference this in the Sarah Jane Adventures. In canon, Ian and Barbara are supposed to be the exact same age they were in the 60s. Like, they're supposed to have not aged all this time. So yeah, you know, if you bring in William Russell, who played Ian, you know, the man has aged all this time, so you can't exactly, you know, do that, I guess, in this canon. But that would have been really cool. All right, you know who I would also get the two who played William Russell and Jacqueline Hall. I believe that's the actress who played Barbara. Get the two from Adventure in Space and Time. Get the two of them to play Ian and Barbara in this. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. But then also have a cameo by William Russell. That would be so cool. I really want that, you know? Because they went to Coal Hill. And I'm pretty sure, I'll go check. You know what? I'll go check. I still have, wait, don't I? Yeah, I do. I still have my edited version of the Doctor Who 50th anniversary. I've never, the re-edit that I did for when Dad watched the 50th anniversary, where I just edited out the names at the beginning. I'm pretty sure yes, I do have it. So, it's playing right now. Because it says, I'm going to look at the sign. Foreman. Yeah. Coal Hill, Secondary School, Shoreditch. Chairman of the Governors, Ian Chesterton. So, alright. I had to go check. So, he's the chairman. He should have been there. I would have loved an Ian cameo. You know? And especially, you know, because right now we're going through classic Doctor Who now in order. And so we've had a lot of Ian and Barbara, so it would have been really cool if Ian showed up. I think I read somewhere that there's a comic where the 11th Doctor meets Ian and Barbara and goes on an adventure with them. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mainly because the 11th Doctor is so vastly different from their Doctor, the first Doctor, that I would just love to see that, you know? See Ian and Barbara interact with the 11th Doctor, or any of them. You know, I'd love to see them interact with the 12th Doctor. Although, to be honest, he's not that far off of the Doctor they know. So, yeah, I feel like that's a missed opportunity. You know, because I'm pretty sure William Russell's still alive, right? I'm pretty sure he's still alive. So, I just feel like you could have done it, you know? I'll look him up. Yeah, he's still alive. He was born in 1924. The man's 90... Well, he's 95 years old. He was born November 19th, 1924. Man. Oh. That would have been so cool. Of course, now, I guess... I didn't think about that. Well, just scrolling down on his filmography, one of the last things he did was An Adventure in Space and Time, where he's the security guard in that. He makes a cameo. So there you go. There it is. It tells me he will not be making a cameo in modern Doctor Who. Missed opportunity, guys. But then again, I guess they can do that. They could still do that. The man's still alive, you know? They could do that in, what is it? What's the next series coming out? Series 13? I want that. Before the man dies, I want a cameo by him in Doctor Who as Ian Chesterton. I want that. Ugh, alright. Blitzer. It's alright. Blitzer was an alright villain. You know, not... He definitely... You know, if we're going to compare this to School Reunion, he's no Anthony Head. You know? And that's the great thing is, you know, I can go back and watch that episode now having seen that actor in Merlin, you know? Which is pretty cool. So... the Blitzer was alright. You know, he's just this robot dude. I like his design. I thought that was pretty cool, you know, and I like the, I like kind of the spider legs, you know, kind of, you know, creeping about and stuff. That was cool, but overall, yeah, he's alright. They didn't really do much. The invisibility, that was clever. I did like that, because, you know, it's the simplest thing of you just have to open doors. You know, just get some string to open the doors, you know? It's just a simple, you know, visual effect. So, I do really like that. And I do also like that, the Doctor immediately knew that Danny was, in the TARDIS. Oh, God. Voice is starting to really go. Here, I'm actually going to drink my water now instead of drinking this Pepsi. That's probably the weirdest way you can drink water. Well, I mean, there are other weird ways, but eh. I drank most of this because of Sherlock. So, Sherlock was crazy, so go watch that episode. It's probably up by now. Actually, it is up by now. So, yeah. Season 4, Episode 2, The Lying Detective. That reaction was nuts. So, yeah. I wrote down meeting and lies. Yeah, so... Danny was really thrown right in the middle of it. Danny was really thrown right in the middle of it. Well, okay. I was gonna say, well, so was Mickey, but that was in the first episode. That was in Rose, you know? So was Rory in the 11th Hour, you know? Martha didn't have a boyfriend. Donna didn't have a boyfriend. Yeah. So this is our third boyfriend on the show. We've had Mickey, Rory, and now Danny. It always ends with E. Or with a Y, I mean. You know, it's always Mickey, Rory, Danny. I sense a pattern. But this meeting was a bit more intense. If only because, you know... Well, first off, I do like that, you know, the Doctor thinks, oh, it's Adrian. Adrian is her boyfriend, you know? Because, like, oh, well, you know, this guy, he's a dashing young man with stupid hair, a dumb chin, I guess. His chin actually wasn't that bad, and he wore a bow tie. And it's like, oh, it reminds me of a dashing young time traveler. It's like, yep, that reminds you of Matt Smith. That was very clever. I really did like that. And, of course, because it still works with Orson that we met a couple episodes ago. So that was funny. I did like that. But yeah, Danny catching her up in her lies. And that's the thing. Okay, when he has just seen an alien get shot into the time vortex, don't continue to lie. You know, because she kept going and it's like, oh, it's just a play. Come on. Come on. Don't do the Monsters, Inc. Don't do the, put that thing right back where it came from. Or so help me. Bum, bum, bum. So help me. So help me. You know, don't do that. It's too late, you know. It worked in Monsters, Inc., but it didn't work here. So, yeah. Good start. So that's the thing, is that technically, I guess, you know, the Doctor being angry, it's because, you know, he wants Clara to have someone good, you know? He wants Clara to be with someone good. Someone good for her. Because she's too good for this world. But yeah. So, I guess I can understand that. And now that, you know, Danny helped save the world, now, alright, the Doctor can start warming up to him. And probably help with his soldier bias. So, alright, I can understand it. And then the promise. The promise was the last thing I wrote down. The fact that, like, okay, if the Doctor ever pushes you too far, tell me. And if you don't tell me, we're done. It's like, whoa, alright. But, you know, it is interesting. Honestly, you know, it is sort of comparable. It's like, he kind of made a soldier out of her, you know? Which, you know, they made that comparison when Donna met Martha. Sounds like a romantic comedy, when Donna met Martha. But they sort of made the same, you know, analogy. Donna was like, is that what you did to Martha? You turned her into a soldier. I was like, well, I mean, you know, kinda. But yeah, so, I mean, this kind of makes me think that Clara's going to be pushed too far and she's not going to say anything, you know? I don't know. I'm tired. So overall, it was a good episode. A little, some of those scenes where the two of them are yelling at each other, it is a little hard to watch, honestly. You know, and I have to say, you know, when it's like, oh, you see, that's who he is, Clara. That's who the Doctor is. It's like, it's hard to watch that, if only because, you know, first off, she has known the Doctor longer than Danny, and we've known the Doctor, you know? We've known the Doctor longer than the two of them, you know? So, you know, it's like, I don't know, some of those scenes were just kind of hard to watch, you know, just the two of them yelling at each other. So, but I guess it's working out. So, yeah. But they definitely, huge missed opportunity to have a cameo by Ian. Hell, I would actually really love if they had the two actors from An Adventure in Space and Time as Ian and Barbara. That sounds awesome. You know, even if it's just for one special. Something. I would love that. I feel like that is a huge missed opportunity that they didn't have either Ian and Barbara or William Russell. So, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this episode. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Doctor Who reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit the notification bell. You can support me on Patreon, and you can follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.